Today, I will provide information about countries that readily grant citizenship. But first, I want to thank you for all your support. We reached 1,000 subscribers, which has encouraged me to continue providing the best information for you guys. If you have not subscribed yet and find this information valuable to your interest, please subscribe and ring the bell so you can get all of our future notifications. For those who are subscribed, please like and share these videos with your family and friends. Not only will you help others fulfill their desires, but you will also be helping us with the algorithms. With this being said, we continue with this exciting topic for those who want to migrate to another country. Most people often want to know the quickest and easiest way to do so. They want a plan B, including a place to go should things go badly in their home country. Or they want a plan A and have a nice place to go as they develop their trifecta strategy, build a new business, or grow their current one. People choose to find a second, third, or even fourth place to reside and become citizens for many reasons. Whatever your reasons, I highly encourage you to go beyond a second residence and get a second passport. The residence is temporary, and you are not a citizen even with a permanent residence. There may be benefits to not being a citizen in some countries. But, if a government decides to change its policies or not renew your visa, there's little you can do as a resident. You have the right to a guaranteed place to live as a citizen. There is also a difference between having citizenship and having a passport. Being a citizen of a country means you qualify to get a passport from that country, but it does not mean you have one. For example, I asked my sister to join me in Mexico for one Christmas holiday. She lives in the US and has access to one of the most powerful passports in the world. However, she had zero travel privileges because she had yet to get a passport. So yes, you may have acquired second citizenship somewhere, but be sure to obtain and keep your passport up to date to have the travel privileges that go with that country's passport. Now that we have cleared up that confusion between residencies, citizenships, and passports, one question remains: where can you get the easiest citizenships and passports? In this article, we will first quickly examine the different ways to obtain citizenship, define precisely what we mean by easiest citizenship, and then discuss the easiest way to get a second passport with each method in 4 separate regions of the world: Europe, the Caribbean, Asia, and the South Pacific, and Latin America. We'll summarize the information with frequently asked questions and provide you with plenty of resources to aid your search for the perfect second passport for your unique needs and desires. How to get citizenship? There are 5 ways to get citizenship. Naturalization. The most common method is to establish residency in a country, spend time there for a certain number of years, pay your dues, and become a citizen. Citizenship by descent. You may qualify for a second passport through your ancestry. Economic citizenship. You can obtain citizenship through a monetary investment or donation to certain countries. Exceptional citizenship, through extraordinary circumstances as determined by a country's leader. Familial ties. You can often qualify for citizenship through a legitimate marriage to a partner who is a citizen of the country or through other family connections, such as giving birth to a child who obtains citizenship by birth. For some, easy means as fast as possible. For others, it may mean the least expensive. Yet, for others, it may be the country with the lowest physical presence requirements. It all depends on what you're looking for and where you feel treated best. As you consider getting an easy second citizenship and passport, you should always keep your overall strategy in mind. Ask yourself what your goals are in moving to a new country and what is most important. Here are some general questions to consider when deciding what easy means for you. What are the requirements for citizenship, and who can approve it? How many years does it take to get citizenship? What are the in-country physical presence requirements? What is the amount of investment required? Where do you feel culturally comfortable? What are the tax implications of becoming a citizen? Will I need or want to purchase real estate? Can I qualify for citizenship through descent? How much paperwork and bureaucracy is involved? Is the program available to many people? How efficient is the country at processing paperwork? If you're looking for a no-tax country, check out our ultimate guides for citizenship in Monaco, St. Kitts and Nevis, Vanuatu, and the Cayman Islands. We'll discuss several countries where it is easy to get citizenship and a passport. We'll offer one country for each type of citizenship in several regions worldwide and some honorable mentions you might find interesting. As you read through these countries, consider your definition of easy so you can see what fits best for you. Europe. The majority of people looking for a second passport want one in Europe. Europe typically has outstanding passports with good travel options in stable countries with a high quality of life. Easiest passport through naturalization, Armenia. I talk a lot about Armenia. Not only does it have a short time frame to qualify for citizenship, but it is also a country that's going places. If you're interested in opportunities to hire, invest, and bank in a fantastic emerging market, look to Armenia. While Armenia does have an excellent citizenship by descent program, if you need more luck in the ancestry arena, Armenia also allows you to become a naturalized citizen in about 3 years. For naturalization, this is one of the fastest countries to become a citizen. You can start by getting a residence permit, which usually involves investing in the country. You can invest around $20,000 in securities, including company shares and corporate and governmental bonds. For more specific information on residence through banking in Armenia, look at our article on how to get residence by opening a bank account. There are also many excellent options for investing in real estate in Armenia. Attending an Armenian university is yet another option for establishing residency. After getting a residence permit, as long as you meet the in-country requirements, you can apply for citizenship in 3 short years. You will need to pass a test on the Armenian constitution in Armenian, but you can take a translator to the test. Easiest passport for citizenship by descent, Latvia. Due to its history, Latvia has some exciting options for citizenship by descent. The first is if you were exiled due to foreign occupation between June 17, 1940, and May 4, 1990. It also applies to the children of an exile born before October 1, 2014. If you fit in this category, you are eligible for citizenship and can maintain dual citizenship in another country. The process usually takes 4 months if all your documents and fees are in order. The second option is for someone born outside of Latvia, has reached the age of 15, and has one parent who was a Latvian citizen at the time of the applicant's birth. In this situation, dual citizenship is only allowed for countries in the EU, EFTA, NATO, or if you are a citizen of Australia, Brazil, or New Zealand. For children under 25, dual citizenship is granted with any other country, but at age 25, those not of a country listed above will have to choose which to keep. For this type of citizenship, the application can be processed in as little as 1 month as long as all the paperwork, documentation, and fees are in order. The third option is if you are ethnically Latvian or live but were born outside of Latvia. For this type of application, you must have documentation showing your ancestors' place of residence in Latvia between 1881 and June 17, 1940, your relationship to this ancestor, your ethnic background, or that your parents or grandparents were Latvian and you can pass a language exam in Latvia. The processing time for this type of citizenship by descent is longer. If all your paperwork, documentation, and fees are in order, the fastest that citizenship will be granted is after 1 year. If you qualify for one of these categories, Latvia is a tremendous second citizenship country. It's one of the cheapest countries to live in Europe, has been rising as an offshore banking hotspot, and has some fantastic real estate investment opportunities. There are other terrific citizenship options if you need to be lucky enough to claim Latvian heritage. Easiest passport for economic citizenship, Portugal. Technically, Portugal does not offer citizenship by investment. It provides residence by investment and a path towards citizenship by naturalization. While other European countries provide actual economic citizenship programs, we almost always recommend Portugal's residence program over these more expensive and less profitable programs. Why? Portugal offers one of the best golden visa programs in the world. After 5 years as a resident with minimal physical presence requirements, you can apply for citizenship in a stable country in the European Union with a Tier A passport. Portugal offers a high standard of living in terms of work, healthcare, climate, infrastructure, stability, safety, and education. If you're a high-net-worth individual, Portugal offers an open-door invitation. The program starts by offering a Portuguese residence permit in exchange for a 5-year investment in the country. Your investment can be in real estate, as an entrepreneur, or in capital contributions. Once you qualify, you must renew your permit after 1 or 3 years. After 5 years of residence, you can apply for citizenship. You may get it later. There's no specific timeline for when you will receive your Portuguese passport. The best we can say is that citizenship will come for several years if you continue to meet the qualifications. While that may sound like a huge drawback, your Portuguese residence permit will still grant you visa-free travel privileges within the Schengen area and many other countries worldwide. You'll also have the right to live and work in any of the EU/EEA countries. You must only be in Portugal 7 days a year to maintain your permit. Another benefit of starting with the residence permit is the possibility of establishing non-habitual residences and taking advantage of this program's incredible tax savings. For more specifics on Portugal's Golden Visa program, check out our ultimate guide. Easiest passport through familial ties. Ireland is one of my favorite countries in the world. They've made their citizenship programs very open. Ireland has a population of 4.5 million, but almost 15 million people hold Irish passports, thanks in large part to its streamlined citizenship by descent program. You can also gain citizenship through other familial ties. Those married to or in a registered civil relationship with an Irish citizen can apply for an Irish passport after 1 year of recognizable residence. You must have been married to or in a civil union with your partner for at least 3 years. That does mean you'll have to pay Ireland's high income taxes for at least 1 year, but corporate taxes are pretty low. You'll also need to spend a reasonable amount of time in Ireland, but once you have an Irish passport, you can live anywhere in Europe and travel almost anywhere on Earth. In terms of ease, Ireland has simplified the process and made its policies quite open. There are several other great options for citizenship through marriage in Europe. Still, we've named Ireland the easiest citizenship because you don't have to be married for as long or declare the country your home country. Plus, the Irish passport doesn't come with all the bureaucracy of the Spanish government, which can often lead to prolonged immigration timelines. Best of all, if you're not married to an Irish citizen but can claim parents, grandparents, or even great-grandparents who were Irish citizens, you can gain citizenship through Ireland's fantastic Citizenship by Descent program. We have helped many people with this passport and have several connections that make the process quite simple. Ireland also offers a golden visa option for citizenship. The Caribbean. This is an exciting region of the world that may only offer citizenship options for some of our citizenship categories in a typical manner. Most countries are tiny islands with small populations, so most of the world won't be able to claim citizenship by descent. The main path to citizenship in these islands is through investment. They offer a tax haven with beautiful beaches. You provide the funds to support that. So, while most of these countries offer citizenship through investment programs, we have tried to categorize them by what their investment is best for. If your definition of easy is a fast track to citizenship, then look no further than the Caribbean. Easiest passport through naturalization. Dominica is one of the fastest passports you can get in the Caribbean. The process can take up to 2 months, but the average is around 3. If you're looking for the quickest way to get a second citizenship, go with Dominica. Its program has been around since 1993 and is part of its constitution. More than half of their country's revenue comes through foreign investment, so they're always looking to develop good innovative programs for investors. Dominica is an excellent option if you're looking for citizenship insurance or a means to renounce your U.S. citizenship quickly. They even have options to waive the residence requirement so you can get a passport without stepping foot in the country. If you want to go through the naturalization process without investment, you can reside on the island for 7 years. Suppose you're looking for a faster process with little to no residence requirement. In that case, Dominica offers real estate investments as a donation, or more recently, they've started to provide investments in some businesses. For real estate, you'll need to purchase a property of at least $200,000 and pay the associated government fees. The process is more involved, so it generally takes a little longer, but you can resell the property after 3 years to recoup some of your investment. The most straightforward option is to donate. For a single person, the price tag starts at $100,000 and increases as you add a spouse or children, but it only gets more straightforward than that. Make your donation and get your passport. The other option, an actual residence by investment versus citizenship by investment, is to invest at least $50,000 in an approved government business. You must also put $100,000 in a bank when you first arrive in country, but you can use those funds. For this option, you must spend 90 days in the country over 2 years before qualifying for naturalization. This is an excellent option if you don't want to make a donation or an entrepreneur looking for somewhere to invest in a company. Dominica offers a decent passport and visa-free travel to 139 countries, including the EU, Russia, and most Latin American and Southeast Asian countries. The country itself is arguably the most beautiful island and one of the happiest places in the world, with its great island lifestyle and safe, friendly atmosphere. Easiest passport for citizenship by descent. Grenada. You may not be able to claim citizenship by descent on the tiny island of Grenada, but this is the most accessible passport in the Caribbean to pass down to your children and grandchildren. For other Caribbean countries, if you get your citizenship through citizenship by investment, it doesn't pass to your children without fees or adding them as part owners of your investment. For Grenada, however, once you get citizenship, it will pass down. Grenada's CBI program is straightforward and offers a great passport with visa-free travel to more than 135 countries. It's also the only program offering visa-free travel to China and Russia. In addition, Grenada's passport gives you access to the US E2 investor visa. You can obtain the passport by either donating or purchasing a pre-approved property. The donation for a single person is $150,000. For a family of 4, it is $200,000, with additional processing and application fees. Grenada's definition of who classifies as family members is pretty liberal and can mean a spouse or children, but it also extends to dependent parents over the age of 55 and even unmarried siblings over 18. If you go through the real estate option, it will be more expensive, but recouping some of your investment after holding the property for at least 5 years. For a single investor, your property value must be at least $350,000, but if you're investing with a partner, your minimum investment drops to $220,000 with a total investment of $440,000. Additional fees also run around $58,000 or more, depending on how many people you add to the application. For more information on this excellent passport opportunity with benefits to pass down citizenship to your posterity, check out our ultimate guide for citizenship in Grenada. Easiest passport for economic citizenship. St. Lucia Street. Lucia offers a highly reputable CBI program with several investment routes. This program requires one of the lowest investment values if you're a sole applicant and offers a respectable yet affordable passport with visa-free access to 145 countries. There are 4 options for investment in St. Lucian citizenship. The first is to make a one-time donation of $100,000 to St. Lucia's Government Development Fund. The real estate option is more expensive but comes with the opportunity to recoup some of the investment after 5 years of holding the property. For a single investor, you must invest $300,000 in pre-approved real estate, plus fees. Naturally, the price increases as you add a spouse and children. In light of COVID-19, the St. Lucian government has introduced sweeping changes to its government bonds investment option that will be in effect until December 31, 2021. This is the perfect opportunity for bond investors. Applicants can qualify for St. Lucia's citizenship by investing $250,000 in the COVID relief bond with a 5-year hold period. The last CBI option is to invest in a local business. You must invest a minimum of $3.5 million in a pre-approved enterprise project. This is the most complex option and comes with some hefty fees, but this is an excellent option if you are an entrepreneur looking to invest in a business. Easiest passport through familial ties, Antigua and Barbuda. This differs from your typical marriage or birth type of citizenship, but it is the most accessible passport for a family. Antigua and Barbuda have become the cheapest option for a Caribbean passport for a family of up to 4 members, and they made our list of discounted Caribbean passports. Where most countries increase the required investment amount per person you add to the application, in Antigua and Barbuda, you can claim a spouse and 2 kids under the same investment price of $100,000 plus fees, which run about $30,000 a person. They even have an option to include adult-dependent children aged 18 to 26 who are full-time students. Suppose you contribute $150,000 to the University of the West Indies. In that case, you can add up to 6 applicants, and 1 family member will receive a 1-year scholarship to the university. All of this is rare in the CBI world and gives Antigua and Barbuda a clear advantage. You can invest in real estate, as a donation, or in business and receive your citizenship in 3 to 4 months. It's a quick, simple, and straightforward program. You will be required to spend at least 5 days a year in the country to renew your passport, but the island's beauty and luxurious living make that anything but painful. In addition, the Antiguan passport is one of the most powerful in the Caribbean, allowing you to access 150 countries visa-free. Check out our ultimate guide for all the details on this excellent family option. Asia and the South Pacific. Asia, as a whole, remains a profoundly nationalistic continent where your cultural background still holds much sway on whether you have any chance of ever gaining second citizenship there. However, a few countries are starting to open up. Several second residence opportunities exist, but not all residence programs lead to citizenship. Consider the most livable cities in Southeast Asia to get a list of some of the best places to go. The Middle East within Asia and the South Pacific offer some great options for second citizenship. Easiest passport through naturalization. Taiwan. An option for a second passport you may have yet to consider is Taiwan. In a world region with few countries extending citizenship to foreigners, Taiwan offers Taiwanese citizenship after 5 years of consecutive legal residency. An even faster option is if you're a Hong Kong or Macau resident, you can obtain Taiwanese citizenship in just 18 months of being a resident of Taiwan. You can get this passport after spending a lot of time in the country. You'll need to live there for at least half the year and become a tax resident for at least 5 years. You'll also need to show that you have no criminal background, pass an exam in Mandarin Chinese and Taiwanese law, and prove that you can support yourself financially. They allow dual citizenship, but you must assimilate into their country and culture to qualify for the passport. There are some significant perks to doing so. Taiwan has the 32nd best passport in the world, and you can visit 145 plus countries visa-free. They also have the best healthcare system in the world. Taiwan is also one of the safest and cheapest countries in which to live. Taiwan's unstable relationship with China may be a big concern. In Taiwan, you would also have access to a robust economy ranked among the top in the world, a highly educated workforce, and great options for foreign direct investment, IT manufacturing, and research and development. Taiwan can also be your gateway to other Asian markets. Check out our ultimate guide to Taiwanese citizenship for more details and information. Easiest passport for citizenship by descent. New Zealand. For this region, we have confirmed that you can get citizenship by descent in South Korea, Indonesia, New Zealand, Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, and India. However, among these, New Zealand's citizenship by descent is the quickest and least expensive path to citizenship and a passport. Its program is streamlined and straightforward. If you were born outside of New Zealand, but one of your parents was a citizen by birth, you may be entitled to citizenship. To apply for citizenship by descent, you must download the application form online and send it in with the requested original documents and fees. Fees depend on which office you send your application to and whether or not you want to receive a passport at the same time as citizenship. It may be worth weighing your options or having someone help you with the application process to decrease your fees. You can also submit your application in person to one of the Department of Internal Affairs offices in New Zealand, Sydney, or London. Your application is processed in 30 working days, but if you need your passport urgently, you can pay an additional fee to expedite the process to 10 days. A passport from New Zealand ranks as the 7th strongest in the world, with access to 182 countries. Citizenship also gives you access to a friendly, diverse country with excellent weather, cuisine, healthcare, and public education. New Zealand quickly leads the pack as the most economically free of the 6 major English-speaking countries. However, becoming a citizen requires paying significant income and corporate taxes. For all the details and other options for citizenship in New Zealand, check out our ultimate guide. Easiest passport for economic citizenship. Vanuatu, traditionally known as a remote place to hide money, Vanuatu has recently tried to make its banking and foreign investment programs more legitimate and respectable. It is still a remote tax haven, the Bahamas of the Pacific, so to speak, with no income tax, inheritance tax, or capital gains tax, but with a bit more transparency and respectability on the international scene. Vanuatu offers the only CBI program in the Pacific region. Over 35% of government revenue is from the multiple citizenship programs geared at foreigners. CBI has become the government's most significant source of income. While this doesn't create a very diverse economy, it does mean that Vanuatu's programs are around to stay and will continue to make investment attractive to foreigners. While a few investment programs are available, many must be simplified and easily understood. Donating a non-refundable lump sum to the local government fund is the best option. Though it's not the lowest, Vanuatu's donation is still relatively low, $130,000 for a single person, $150,000 for a married couple, and $180,000 for a family of 4. You'll also pay about $5,400 in fees and must prove that you have at least $250,000 available in banking assets and at least $500,000 in net assets. With just 8 weeks to obtain a passport, Vanuatu has made the process extremely speedy, probably the fastest in the entire CBI industry. They don't require the total investment sum up front. All you have to pay is the $5,000 fee to get the application process going and get approval from the government. Then, after your application is accepted, the total amount will be due, and your passport will be available. With a passport from Vanuatu, you'll have visa-free access to 125+ countries. It's also part of the British Commonwealth, which means Vanuatu's citizens get extra rights in the UK due to historical ties. Vanuatu citizenship is hereditary, so that you can pass it on to your children. Other benefits of Vanuatu include that English is one of its official languages, it's the happiest country on earth, it has excellent offshore banking options, immaculate air, water, and food, some of the hottest commodities of the future, and it is friendly and open to international business. For all the details on this fast and easy process, check out our ultimate guide for CBI in Vanuatu. If you're interested in other citizenship options in Vanuatu, check out our article on how to obtain residence and citizenship in Vanuatu. Easiest passport through familial ties. Israel. If you are married to a Jewish man or woman, no matter where you're from, you are in luck in terms of getting a second passport from Israel. Israel's law of return is somewhat complicated but allows Jews and their descendants to obtain permanent residence in Israel relatively easily and quickly. A Jew is defined as anyone whose mother or grandmother is a Jew or has converted to Judaism. In the 1970s, the Israeli government extended the law of return rules to allow the spouse, children, and grandchildren of a Jew also to qualify. It is possible to use the law of return, even if you are not Jewish, by falling into one of these categories. Upon your arrival in Israel, there is a 90-day waiting period before you can be awarded citizenship. However, citizenship is automatically granted unless you specifically ask the government not to grant Israeli citizenship. It's important to know that while citizenship can be conferred within a few months, you will not receive a full passport until a year later. The goal of the law of return is for Jews to come and remain in Israel. You must show that you have established ties in Israel to qualify and maintain your passport. An Israeli passport restricts you from traveling to most of the Middle East, Malaysia, and Indonesia, and living in Israel has a high tax burden. However, it is an above-average travel document for the right person. Latin America is mainly made up of countries of immigrants. Its colonial history has led to a typically more open border policy than other regions, like the Asian continent. Its citizenship programs are lower in cost and easy to qualify for. If you're from the US, Latin America is also more culturally similar and has an unmistakable American influence in many cities. Therefore, you will experience less culture shock if you go to a country in Latin America from the US. However, Latin America is notorious for having a lot of bureaucracy, taking a lot of time and work to process things, and having a dragged-out process that requires more time on the ground and more paperwork and documents to bring. So, while they are open to foreigners, the process might be more tedious and time-intensive. Easiest passport through naturalization, Ecuador. Ecuador's beautiful and quiet country has shown great potential as an excellent option for second citizenship. It's emerging as an expat haven and is one of the cheapest and safest countries to live in, with a meager cost of living. It is even consistently ranked as one of the best countries for retirement. While Peru has a shorter time frame for becoming a citizen, Ecuador wins out on the ease of gaining residence on the Latin American front. Ecuador still only requires 3 years of residence before applying for citizenship. Ecuador also beats out Panama because it has a better track record of granting citizenship. In contrast, Panama has a super easy residence program but needs an excellent track record when granting citizenship to those who qualify. There are several options for gaining residency in Ecuador. First is an excellent option, investing around $40,000 into an Ecuadorian bank. Investing a similar amount into a company or qualifying real estate or land is also possible. Once you have invested, you may apply for a 2-year temporary residence permit. After 2 years with a temporary permit, you can apply for a permanent permit, and after 1 year, you can apply for citizenship. You don't need to be physically present to maintain your residence permit, but if your goal is citizenship, then there is a hefty physical presence requirement of at least half the year. Unlike the Caribbean programs, you must commit time to get a passport in Ecuador. Easiest passport for citizenship by descent. Mexico has gotten a lot of bad press, but it is a large country with many good options for living, doing business, and investing. Its fantastic passport ranks 26th most powerful in the world, quickly making it the most underrated one out there. Mexico City is my favorite Latin American city to visit. I even named it the most livable city in Latin America in my Nomad guide. It's also relatively easy to get citizenship by descent there. If you have a Mexican parent, you can get citizenship in at least 6 months for less than $100. But you don't need to have Mexican heritage to be fast-tracked to citizenship by descent. Any Latin American descent will do. You start the process by getting residency. If you can show proof of blood relatives in Mexico or other Latin American countries, you can qualify immediately for a permanent residence permit. Then, after 2 years, you can apply for citizenship. You can spend little time in country initially, which can be an excellent way to transition from your current country. This lets you find a great real estate location that fits your style and lock something in. Overall, it's a reasonably straightforward process. Easiest passport for economic citizenship. Colombia. While Belize and Peru have offered citizenship by investment programs in the past, only some Latin American countries overtly offer an actual economic citizenship program. However, Colombia has a residence by investment program that is well worth your consideration. Colombia is a beautiful, underrated South American country. It does have an unsavory reputation because of its drug-fueled past, but it has since rehabilitated itself, which is why I like this market. I write a lot about Colombia and have personally used it as part of my trifecta strategy. Bogotá is a great hotspot for startup companies with many good real estate options. Medellin is also a great place to invest. It's one of the best emerging markets with a lot of potential. To start the process towards citizenship, you must first obtain permanent residency. Two main options are investing approximately $170,000 in Colombian real estate or contributing to a Colombian company. Then, after 5 years as a permanent resident, you and your family may apply for citizenship. The second option, if you're an entrepreneur, is to invest about $26,000 to set up a company that will get you a business visa. This will lead to a permanent visa and, in 5 years, a passport. You must spend substantial time in the country for this visa, and it requires a bit more effort on your part, but it's a lower investment with more significant growth potential. You are not required to live in Colombia to maintain your second residency or work toward your second passport, but if you choose to do so, you can do so for as little as $1,500 per month. Local food is cheap and plentiful, and transportation is affordable. Colombia allows dual citizenship, so you do not need to renounce your current citizenship to become a Colombian citizen. An added benefit is that children you give birth to while in Colombia will obtain Colombia citizenship at birth as well. Being a parent of a Colombian citizen could shorten your path to citizenship to just 2 years. The country's economy is one of the freest and most open in the region. However, there are some tax issues to plan around, such as Colombia's corporate tax rate of 31%. Luckily, personal income tax only needs to be paid after 5 years of living in the country, and if you live and work in different places, you can avoid many of the taxation issues. Easiest passport through familial ties, Brazil hands down. Brazil is the most accessible place to get citizenship through family ties. Suppose you have immediate family ties to a Brazilian citizen, entitling you to Brazilian citizenship within 1 year. That means citizenship by marriage is possible, and by giving birth or adopting a child, the options don't stop there. Brazil also offers a fast-track option for parents to obtain Brazilian citizenship without navigating Brazil's tedious investment immigration program. So, let's get to some of the details. Out of all the countries that offer citizenship by birth, Brazil is the best place to give birth, thanks to its advanced medical facilities and valuable passport. Brazil is also ideal for medical tourism due to its low-cost, high-quality healthcare. It also has what I call an A-level passport, great travel options without the hassle that can come with most Western passports. In preparing to have your child's birth in Brazil, you must first arrange for a visa, unless you're from the EU, which grants visa-free travel to Brazil. Because you will be staying in Brazil for at least 2 to 3 months, you will need to take the time to find suitable long-term housing and select a hospital. After those things are in order, the next step is to give birth and get a birth certificate. When you, your partner, and your newborn leave the hospital will provide you with a document that confirms that your child was born in Brazil. You can then take that document to a government office to get your child's birth certificate in Portuguese. Once you have a birth certificate, you can use it to get your child a Brazilian passport. If you and your spouse are also looking to get Brazilian citizenship, Brazil offers a fast-track naturalization option for parents. It requires you to live in the country for most of the year, pay taxes, learn Portuguese, and contend with Brazilian bureaucracy. However, the whole process can be completed in just 1 year. The last option is through marriage. Those with a Brazilian spouse of at least 1 year qualify to apply for a second citizenship. Your citizenship can be granted after just 1 year of uninterrupted residence in the country. As in many other countries, working with someone who knows the minuscule details and the Portuguese language is necessary, as all paperwork must be done in Portuguese. Brazil is notorious for its bureaucracy. People doing the paperwork and documentation correctly can prove very important. In conclusion, there is much to consider when looking into getting second or multiple passports. While we say easy, it may not mean a simple process, just simpler than other options. It also will depend on what you're looking for as you develop your holistic plan. We've provided some of the easiest passports for each region in different categories that might fit your strategy, but be sure to continue, as more options may best suit your needs. Each country offers unique options, and each passport provides different benefits. So, find what countries work best when developing your passport portfolio. The main thing is to create a diverse plan that covers your bases and protects you and your assets. Please take your time. Prepare yourself with a plan tailored to your needs to go where you're treated best. This is all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got some information out of it. Now, enjoy the rest of the day or night. See you soon.